Hi everyone, my name is Amy. I'm part of the school liaison team at Cardinal Newman College, and the plan today is to just talk you through how to actually apply to Cardinal Newman. So our application system is completely online. So we're going to start by just actually showing you the college website. So you can see on your screen, this is Cardinal Newman College homepage, and you can see the big pink button at the top which says apply now. So we're going to click on that and it will take you to this screen, which has a few more details of the application process. If you have got any questions that you want to ask before you apply, you can email admissions@cardinalnewman.ac.uk, and you can only submit one application. Okay, so if you start doing it and you've made a mistake, don't worry. If you've submitted it, you have to stick with the one that you've submitted, but you can make changes at the college interview. So if you've submitted it and you've missed something off or you've put the wrong thing in, don't worry. Unless it's a contact detail that's wrong, you don't need to let us know about that until your interview. Okay, so once you're ready to get started, click here to apply now, and it will bring you to this page. So again, you can see some more details. So you can see here the things that you will need to have to hand in order to get started. So obviously you need to know your full name, your full address, including postcode, a contact number, a valid email address. So this needs to be one that you are going to check, a memorable password, and your predicted or target grades from school. Okay, when you're happy that you have all that information to hand, you can get started by clicking login or register. So to start off with, to register, you can either click I wish to continue my application if you've already started, or you can click on I would like to apply. So to start the application, you need to pop in your email address. And then retype your email address just to make sure that we have it correct. Okay, so once you've done that and you're happy it's both accurate, hit register. So now you need to start filling in your own personal details. So it's important that you do this accurately. This is the information that's going to be printed on any letters and things that we send out to you. So it is important that you get that right. So we're going to start this by filling it in. So I'm going to be John Henry Newman, the college's namesake. Okay. And then you need to also fill in things like your date of birth, we'll just pick a random date there for me. Okay, and then when you need to put in your address, as I say, it is important that this is accurate because this will be used to send important letters about your interview and things like that. So we type in the college's address. Preston. Sorry, the city is Preston. And then your postcode. Again, it's really important, and it does sound like a very simple thing, but it is important that you make sure it's formatted correctly as well. So you need to make sure you've got capital letters where necessary, and you filled in the correct lines and things like that, so that it is formatted nicely. So otherwise, our admissions team need to spend time amending it and making sure that house numbers are in the right place and capital letters are in the right place. So it does save a lot of time and effort. Then you need to put your telephone number in and a mobile number as well. So the mobile number is in case we need to contact you. So for example, interviews this year will be taking place via Microsoft Teams. But if for some reason we can't reach you through Teams, we will try and call you on your mobile. So again, it is important that you do put a correct mobile number in as well. Okay, so make sure you check in that. Line with a random number for now. Okay, so when it comes to your parent or carer details, it is important again that you put in contact details for them, because we do like to try and keep them informed of anything that's going on. So if you've got an interview, we'll let them know just so that they're aware and they're able to remind you if necessary. So for the parent carer details, I'm just going to pop in dad, but obviously we do want a proper name. So do make sure that you put in, you know, your dad's full name or your mum's full name, whatever that might be. Okay. And then we also need a valid email as well. Okay. Now don't worry about this section here for religion. This isn't something that's going to stop you from getting into Cardinal Newman. It's just important for our equalities and diversity monitoring. So put in whatever is the most accurate representation for yourself, and don't panic that it's going to affect your application at all. So here we go. Have you lived in the UK for the last 3 years? Again, it's important that you put the correct answer there because it just has an impact on the paperwork and different things that we need when we're sorting your application. Again, if you can choose your ethnicity, again, just choose the one that you feel is most representative of yourself. If you have any disabilities, learning difficulties, or any health issues, this is the point at which you can disclose that to us. It's simply because we need to make sure that we're putting everything in place for you to make sure that you can actually have the most positive experience at Cardinal Newman, and we can make sure you have any support that you need. So if you receive extra time in exams, or you have a little bit of support in lessons, you know, if you have dyslexia or any health conditions that you think we ought to know about, please just let us know in this box, and that will make it a lot easier for us when you actually come to college to get the support that you need. Okay, so here now you need to select your school. So as you can see here, we've got a list of as many schools as we can. Obviously, it isn't possible to have absolutely every single school that might ever apply to us, but we have got a pretty long list and they are all in alphabetical order. So if you scroll through and try and find the school that you attend, if you're scrolling through and you can't actually find your school and you think, oh no, what am I supposed to do? My school's not listed, then it's absolutely fine to check the box that says other. Okay, so you can choose that one if you can't find your school, but most of the big feeder schools in the local area should be on there. Okay, now at this point you need to create a password. It's important that this password is obviously something that is secure and safe so that no one can hack into your account, but it also needs to be something that you are going to remember. Okay, because you will need this if you do start your application and come back to it, you're going to need to be able to log back in. So the password needs to be between 5 and 16 characters long. I would recommend you create something that has, you know, numbers and letters as well as, you know, capitals and things like that, because that will make it a little bit easier. Once you've got your password in and you're happy with everything on that page, you can click register. So this point now, everything that you've done up until this point will be saved. So if you need to log out and come back at a later date, you can do. You just simply hit the log off button and use your email address and the password that you've just created in order to log back in again at a later stage. So the place we're at now is to actually start choosing the things that you would like to study at college. So you can choose up to 5 courses when you're applying to Newman, because we know that you may not have quite made your mind up at the moment exactly what you want to do. So it might be that you need to, you know, put all 5 down that you're kind of thinking of, and then buy yourself a little bit more time to think about those 3 or 4 that you plan to do when you start college. Okay, you may actually absolutely have a clear idea of what you want to do and know the 3 that you're going to study or the 4 that you're going to study. That's fine too. Nothing that you put in the application at this stage is set in stone. So if you've changed your mind by the time you come to your college interview, that's absolutely fine. You can change your mind and let us know. And even then, after your interview, if you change your mind again, as long as you have the grades that you need to do the subjects that you want to do, you will still be able to swap all the way up to enrolment. Okay, so when you're actually at your enrolment appointment, you can make a change again. So if we click on the little drop down here, you can see a full list of all the courses that we offer here at Cardinal Newman. Okay, so I'll just scroll down so you can see a little bit more of what's there. It starts with A levels at the top and they're all in alphabetical order. And then as you scroll down, you can see that there are also BTEC level 3 extended certificates. So the extended certificate is the equivalent of 1 A level. Okay, then below that we have the extended diploma. That is the equivalent of 3 A levels. And then we also have level 3 diploma, which is the equivalent of 2 A levels. And then at the bottom here, you can see we've also got a couple of level 2 qualifications. So they're the equivalent to GCSE. So those are for students who maybe haven't quite managed to get the 5 grade 4s that they need to progress. We then also have some T-level qualifications. So these are a full-time programme, so you would only choose one subject out of these T-levels, and they're a mixture of doing 3 days in college and 2 days on placement. And then finally, at the bottom, we have GCSE resits in maths and English, foundation learning for students with a variety of learning needs, and then we also have the foundation diplomas, which are the equivalent of 1.5 A level. So you would choose these alongside at least 2 other A level subjects or equivalent. Okay, so once you scroll through and had a really good look at all the different courses that we've got, you can then pick the ones that you want to study. So as I said, you can choose up to 5. So you just find the one that you would like to do. So we're going to go English language. We'll also choose a BTEC, I think. So we'll go for a single BTEC in creative media. And then let's have an A level in sociology, for example. Okay, so I'm going to choose just 3 subjects. As I say, you can choose 5, but if you aren't choosing 5, you do need to make sure you've selected NA for the other 2 options. Okay, once you're happy that you've got the courses that you want to apply for, click confirm, and that will take you through to the next page. So this is just a summary of what you've applied for, just to make sure that it's accurate. If you want to change any of that, you can obviously remove them and go back and add more if you need to. Okay, so if we're happy we've got the correct subject, we're going to hit next stage. And this is where we're going to ask you to fill in your GCSEs. Okay, so these are the predicted grades of what you think you're going to get in the summer. So I'm aware that some schools haven't given out the predictions yet. If that's the case, please don't let it put you off from actually applying. You can still fill in your qualifications, but just put the ones that you think are most likely that you're going to achieve. So a realistic reflection of what you think you will get in your GCSEs this summer. Okay. Again, this isn't set in stone, so if at the interview anything has changed, you know, maybe you've got a higher prediction than you were expecting, or perhaps slightly lower, just let us know at the interview. The reason we ask for this information is so that we can actually use this as a guide to make sure that we're advising you correctly. So if you've put down that you'd like to do, I don't know, all the science subjects, so you want to do biology, chemistry, physics and maths, we know that you need to get a certain number of predicted grades in order to do those. So you're going to need at least 6s in your science, 6 in your maths and 5 in your English. So we can be aware of whether or not you're on target for what you need. Okay, so that's what the predictions are for. We have tried our best to put every single subject that you may be studying at GCSE or BTEC level 2 on here, but there may be some instances where the subject that you're doing isn't there and you can't find it. Okay, if that's the case, choose the one that's most similar to what you're studying. Okay, and then put that in, and then again at the interview just let us know that you've chosen this subject on the qualifications, but actually you're studying something else. Okay, so we start with the BTEC qualifications, so you can see here the list of BTECs, and then we can also see the list of GCSEs that are available. Again, this is all in alphabetical order, so it makes it a little bit easier for you to find the ones that you're studying. You will need to make sure you put all of them on. So for example, I'm going to start by adding on the ones that everybody needs to do. So GCSE English language, and we're going to put in a grade 5. We click that it is predicted because we don't have the grades yet. In some cases, you may have sat a GCSE early. If that is the case, you just click actual if this is your actual grade. So when you put the subject and the grade in, you pop add, and you'll see it in a table here, and then you need to do that for every single subject. So I'll scroll down again, and we will find, for example, GCSE maths. We're going to put a grade 5 for that as well, predicted, and add. And we need to keep moving through and do all of the subjects that you're doing. If you're doing science GCSE, there are obviously options. Some students are taking them separately, so you'll be able to add in GCSE biology, GCSE chemistry, GCSE physics. In some instances, you're doing the combined science, so you may be doing the synergy, foundation or higher paper, so that's what the F and the H stand for, or you might be doing the trilogy combined science where it's worth 3, and you can again choose foundation or higher. If you're not quite sure, either ask your teacher at school or just put what you think is the correct one, and as I say, you can make changes at any point. So I'm going to choose science there, put grade 5 in that and add. Okay, so as I say, continue to do that until you have every single subject that you are studying at GCSE listed. If you make any mistakes and you need to change, you can edit the grade or you can completely remove it and add it again if you need to. Once you're happy that everything is there and everything's correct, you can hit the next stage, and this will take you to a summary of what you've filled in for today. So please do make sure you go through and check things are accurate, in particular your contact details, the courses you've applied for and your qualifications. This is the last page that you will see before you submit your application, so it is important that you do check it properly, because once you submit it, you can't log back in and make any changes. So it's important to check that it's accurate. So we've checked everything, I've read it through and I'm happy that it is correct. So we're going to hit submit application. So you should see this screen next, which will give you a summary of what you've applied for and an application reference number. So if you want to, take a picture of that screen or do a screenshot if you're using a mobile device. And then you should also receive an automated email to the email address that you listed on your application, and that will just be a confirmation that we've received your application. If you haven't received this automated email within about 24 hours of having done your application, please do get in touch with us just to check that everything's gone through okay. So you can either ring the college, so that's the main college number, and ask to speak to the admissions team, or you can email admissions@cardinalnewman.ac.uk and we will check your application for you. Once you've actually applied and we've received everything, we will get in touch with you to arrange your college interview. So college interviews are going to take place throughout sort of the new year, January, February, March time. We will send you a letter through the post, but you'll also receive an email. So the interviews are going to take place over Microsoft Teams. So you'll get a link via email to join the meeting. And you just have to have a little chat with a member of staff and talk about, you know, what you want to do at college and in the future, check all your details. It's really more of an informal guidance interview, so it's nothing to be nervous or scared about. It's just so we can make sure we're giving you the best advice that you need for moving forward and applying to college.